Hi, my loves. I am your instructor, Mrs. Brown, also known as Tila B, the Model Realtor, one half of Brown Love, and a member of the Bex Group of Long and Foster Real Estate. Welcome to your first day of home buying and home selling 101. Because we are all now social distance learning, I wanted to come to you to give you the 101s of home buying and home selling. Today's lesson will be in interest rates. Has anyone heard of the historically low, near zero interest rates that the federal government implemented at the beginning of the pandemic? I'm sure you have, because they are everywhere. So today's lesson will be about what those historically low interest rates mean to you as a homeowner and as a home buyer. So first, we need to talk about what is an interest rate. So can anyone tell me what an interest rate is? Perfect. An interest rate is the cost of money. So can anyone tell me what a home loan interest rate is, or a home mortgage interest rate? Perfect. A home mortgage interest rate is the extra amount of money that you will pay on your home. Some of the reasons why the federal government implemented the near zero interest rates on home loans was to help boost the economy and to also give the American citizens sort of a break in their finances as they pedaled through this pandemic and through this uncertain time. Okay, so to my homeowners, listen up. This is what the historically low interest rates mean for you. They mean savings. Savings. Everybody wants to save money, right? Especially during the pandemic when we don't know when it'll end, how far it'll go, and what other things we'll run into as we come into the second wave. So as a homeowner, you can refinance your mortgage with the historically low interest rates. So if you purchased your home a few years ago, even a couple months before the pandemic happened, you probably got a home loan interest rate about, let's say, 4%. That was pretty typical before the pandemic. Now the interest rates are falling well below a 3%. They're really close to the 2.5s depending on what lender you go to. So that means that if you refinance your mortgage, then you will save on average about $200 a month on your mortgage payment, which will bring savings into your home. So if we did the math, if we saved $200 per month, and we did that for a year, we would have $2,400 in savings for the year. So with those savings, you could pay off some more debt that you possibly have. You could put that money right back into your mortgage so that you can begin to chip off your balance. You could start a savings plan. You could put that money good use to something that you know that you need to do, or something that you have wanted to do but you felt that you couldn't because you no longer had that money available. But if you do refinance your mortgage, there are a few things that I want you to know. So your loan will start over. So if you've already chipped away at your balance, you are going to now have a new balance, but your payment will be a lot less this time than the first mortgage. You can also, if you refinance, you can try to get a shorter term, meaning if you first got your mortgage at a 30-year term, you can now refinance for a 15-year term, which means that you are paying your mortgage down over 15 years instead of 30 years. What you can possibly do, that $200 that you saved, you could possibly keep the same mortgage payment, but shorten your term and be exposed to that interest rate for a shorter period of time. For example, the $300,000 that you bought your home for, you were paying that back with interest over 30 years. You had a payment of about $1,200. So now we're going to refinance. We are going to keep the $1,200 payment, but we are going to shorten the term of the loan to 15 years so that we are now paying less in interest over those 15 years as compared to the 30 years. So that will give you a savings of, I'll say, tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars. What could you do with tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars? I'm sure there's a lot of things that you could do, a lot of people that you could help, and a lot of things that you can invest in with that extra money. And you guys also know that along with being a realtor, I'm also in financial services. So there's a lot of things that we should be doing with our extra money to set us up and our generations for wealth when we have extra money. Does that make sense? Does anyone have any questions? If you have any questions, you can type them in the chat box as I'm going through the video, and I will get back to you as soon as the video is over. All right, so what do these historically low interest rates mean to you as a home buyer? So that same $300,000 that we have $300,000 and we have a 4% interest rate, and we have this house. So this is the house that you can get before the federal government implemented the near zero interest rates. Okay, so now that the interest rates are a lot lower, let me show you what that means to you as a home buyer. And please don't laugh at my drawing because I'm not a good drawer. But once you see my picture, you'll get my drift of how important these interest rates are for you as a buyer. And I do know that this is a part of the class where you guys are throwing spitballs at each other. You guys are talking when you're not supposed to be talking. You're on your phone. You're doing your makeup. You're doing all types of stuff that you know you are not supposed to be doing in class. And guess what? I see you. So, we now have the same $300,000. We now have a near zero interest rate of a 2.09%. And with that same amount of money and a new interest rate, we now have this beautiful house. So because the interest rate is now at 2.09% and we still have $300,000 to purchase our home, we have an extra, on average, about $40,000 to play with to purchase our home. So we can now afford a house of $340,000. All because this interest rate went down to a 2.09% instead of, with this house, the 4%. So which house do you guys want? I know I want the house with the grass. I want the double barn doors. I want some clouds because, you know, over here in this neighborhood, we have clouds. Over here, we don't. And I want some trees. There's a going joke in my old store at H&M that the west side has trees and the east side doesn't. So I want to live on the west. I don't want to live on the east because east side don't have no trees, but west side Baltimore does. So You guys now have some grass too. So, do you guys have any questions about anything that I have said about being a buyer in these low interest rates? If you do, write them in the comment section and I'll get to those answers as soon as this video is over. So, to recap our lesson, of interest rates. For a homeowner, you get to save on average $2,400 this year, or for the next 12 months if you were to refinance your mortgage and get a lower interest rate than you previously had before the pandemic. And as a home buyer, you now can afford more of a home with the same amount of money because the interest rate is now lower. It gives you an extra, on average, $40,000 to play with in the price of a home, because we want to live over west. We don't want to live over east. And you guys are writing your comments, your concerns, and your questions in the comment section below, and as your instructor, I will get to those answers as soon as this video is over. We do not know how long these historically low interest rates will last. I know that they're saying that they want to push them through 2022, but we will not take that as law, because we know that we have an election year and the election is coming up in a few months, and that could definitely determine the interest rates for the home loan. So we definitely want to act on that information now. You guys can give me a call, 443-722-7107. You can give me an email at tila.brown@longandfoster.com. That's T as in Tom, EELA.brown is in the color @longandfoster.com. You guys can also chime in my inbox. You guys can follow my YouTube page, because we will be back here at Home Buying and Home Selling 101 next week. Please tag 3 to 4 people who you know could use this information. Also have them subscribe to my YouTube channel and have them give me a call. Thank you guys, and I appreciate you sitting through my first lesson. I'll see you next week.